Fundamental to our parole system is whether or not we believe in human capacity to change. Men and women who have been convicted and who are doing time for very serious offenses really do a lot of work to transform themselves. And it is their hope that those around them see that, acknowledge that, and recognize that the offenses that they committed sometimes decades in the past really became a springboard to a different trajectory in their lives.
I had participated in college before college was discontinued. I had started programs that would help young people in the society and community to better their lives through access to us, men who had been incarcerated, who could potentially share their narratives, their stories, their experiences as a way to help them make better decisions. So I felt really good about my chances of parole. And the parole hearing was like a slap in the face. I've done everything that they consider warranted of me, and that's still not enough.
Lines are drawn in the sand for different commissioners. They say they're open-minded, but that is not what I found the case to be. I think people have very strong opinions, particularly around law enforcement, heinous crimes against law enforcement, even if it was not premeditated. I walked into a room, and I know it was not supposed to be like this, but I walked into a room thinking this person's going home. Unless there's a reason I can figure out. But it's a team effort. It's not like I can't singularly release somebody. It takes two. You really do believe someone's ready to go home, and your colleagues are like, I can't do it. And it's painful. It's very painful.
If you see someone in front of you who have done all of the things that the system has asked of them and have even gone beyond that, and even those individuals don't make their board appearances and get to go home to their families, it becomes very hard to incentivize for people to do well in prison.
When I went, I was with another guy, and he said he had went to the board 7 times and got denied. And he refused. He said, let me sign a paper, I'm out of here. And I'm looking at him, I'm saying, oh my God, you're not even gonna give yourself a chance to go home? And he said, man, listen, this is my 7th board. They not letting me out.
After being been to the parole board 4 to 5 times, I don't realize it, but there's an anger growing inside of me. I want to be acknowledged in a place that doesn't acknowledge human beings. I wanted to feel like people see what I've been doing and that I can make a contribution. I knew the kind of questions they were typically going to ask, right? And I think during that time period where I started getting resentful of the parole board process, I was very mechanical about my answers. So this time I went into it, determined to create a discussion. If I wanted to be accessible or open to people, and I think a lot of times at one point I thought the openness simply meant me being vulnerable, right? But it also means just being open to have a true dialogue, a true exchange, right? And I went in there with that attitude. And surprisingly enough, it was received. I like to believe that's what changed the outcome.
What I expected from day one was people to show up and see my humanity and to really understand how I got there and to weigh those decisions. I wanted to be accountable. I never not wanted to be accountable in this system, but accountability was never afforded to me in a real way. The system never gave me any guidance. It never gave me any type of like blueprint towards what I could do to better myself.
I didn't care that they denied me 3 times. I'm looking at it like every chance I go, I'm at least giving myself a fighting chance of getting out. When I received the decision, that was like the most emotionalist part for me, because when you got the time that I had and did what, went through what I went through all these years and lost family members and finally getting a chance to be a free man again, it was unbelievable, very emotional.